I've made a huge transformation. From a mere 106 pounds to now lean and muscular, it has certainly changed my life. But it wasn't always this way. I remember like it was yesterday. I would go to school with hoodies on just to cover up my arm size because I was embarrassed and I constantly got picked on. But through nearly a decade of sweat, tears, and thousands of reps, my skinny days are far behind me. I pushed my limits, challenged myself every single day, and my physique didn't only change, but also my life. I feel this is something that a lot of people don't discuss or talk about, but for me, being literally super thin, but I can tell you one of the biggest impacts building muscle has had on me has definitely been my confidence. A lot of people have said that you're not necessarily born with confidence, but basically how the world treats you will be your confidence level. For example, if we look at attraction, right? Somebody who's really attractive, they're always receiving compliments. People are constantly telling them how beautiful they are. So with that being said, they naturally go into the world with higher confidence. Versus on the other end, somebody who never receives compliments or who is even made fun of how they look, usually will go into the world with a lower set of confidence. And with being skinny, the majority of my life, I'm talking from elementary school up until I was nearly 21 years old, I think it has played an effect on my confidence for the worse. And the truth is, I didn't even know I was skinny in the first place, right? You just kind of go about your day. You start to notice like, hey, these people are a little bit bigger than me, but I never saw the world in regards to skinny, fat, muscle. I was just who I am. It wasn't until people started coming up to my arms, putting their finger around my wrist, talking about how skinny I was, how I need to eat. But throughout time, as you build more muscle, as you start to fill out your clothes, as you start to receive that positive validation, your overall confidence just goes to a whole new level. You start to walk different, you start to talk different. And the truth is that confidence plays a significant role in your life and even will dictate your ability to meet people, your ability to meet women, just overall your connections and network. So you can probably tell why confidence is super important and how I feel like it's one of the #1 things that has really affected me. Now I discussed how I was pretty ignorant to the idea of body types, right? How I didn't really know there was skinny, fat, and in between. I was just going about living my life. But one thing I've noticed through building muscle too, just looking back in hindsight, was the fact that the way I approached my diet was that I viewed food as just food, right? Macronutrients didn't exist to me. So with that being said, looking back to my diet back when I was skinny, and this plays a big part as to why I was probably skinny, was the fact that I barely ate protein. Not only did I not eat enough calories, but I just saw food as whatever. A bag of chips and a pound of chicken hold the same nutritional value to me because I didn't know macronutrients or what they were. So another way building muscle has changed my life was the fact that I started viewing food as protein, carbs, fat, and I started identifying which foods to go where. And then from there, I believe your understanding of nutritional knowledge will overall make you a more healthy person because you're now able to, set up the right diet plan, eat the right foods in the right balances all together so that you're getting a bit of everything and not just eating chips all day like the way I was doing. And then obviously as somebody who wants to build muscle, you're gonna put a really strong emphasis on a high protein diet. So with that being said, having variation of meats in your diet and just learning how to have nutritional balance, I believe can make a big impact in somebody's life, right? And then since we have a foundation of nutritional knowledge, we can actually use that to apply to ourselves our whole entire lives. Even if I get to a point where I don't want to build muscle anymore, I now have that baseline knowledge of nutrition that a lot of Americans and a lot of people in general will never ever have. Another reason why I believe my confidence have shifted whenever I started to build more muscle was the fact that I started getting more respect from men and just strangers in general. I believe whenever somebody views like a skinny person or somebody who doesn't really have a lot of muscle, or definitely on the opposite end where they're obese or overweight, they instinctively do not take that person seriously. Honestly, for whatever reason, whenever you build more muscle, you hold a sense of more respect about yourself off bat. Now there's a quote that goes that a fit body must be earned, it cannot be bought or given out. And I believe that most people understand that and know that off bat. Whenever you kind of hold more muscle about yourself, especially as a man, you tend to come off a little bit more intimidating, right? I'm not sure about you, but I have this weird thing that I do where I'll look at a man and I don't want to do this. It just happens naturally. But you almost associate them as a threat level. Like, could I beat this person in a fight? Like off bat, I've been doing this my whole life, right? And I've always been in this position where, I better respect this person because they're naturally bigger than me. But whenever you tend to gain more weight, put more muscle, people start doing that about you, especially if you're around a lot of average people in your daily life, which I tend to be around a lot of average people in regards to where I live and all that stuff, right? So I feel the sense of respect whenever I speak, whenever I meet somebody initially, giving them a strong handshake. And this even goes to meeting, let's say, your girlfriend's parents or whatever. I promise you, they will respect you more without even realizing it. This is all subconscious, just from the fact that you have some muscle built upon yourself. I promise you. Now, in order for that to happen, you gotta get a girlfriend in the first place. And if you're anything like me, what I've realized whenever I was back in my skinny days was all the girls and women tend to go towards the athletes, tend to go towards the guys who have a little bit more muscle built upon themselves. And let's be real, that's one of the first reasons why I started working out, was the fact that I noticed that people who did work out got more attention from women. Do not lie to yourself, guys. A big reason why you guys probably started working out too was the fact that you want to attract more women. Now, as time goes on, of course, you start doing it for yourself, and it starts becoming like a genuine hobby. But initially you're like, I'm trying to get a few more girls, get a bit more play, because you know, me and you both know that women prefer men who have muscle. Now, there are a lot of nuances when it comes to this, right? Women don't necessarily prefer a man who is like super jacked, like Chris Bumstead, Mr. Olympia sort of physique, but just a little bit of muscle, right? Actually, to appeal to a woman, you actually don't have to build that much muscle, funny or not. Like just a year or two of training can increase your attractiveness by a ton, and anything past that is pretty much just for the boys and just for yourself. But I would say, especially with the increased popularity of fitness, and everybody's in fitness, including these IG fitness girls. Go to your Explore page right now, you'll probably see exactly what I'm talking about. These girls also like guys who are into the gym, who also have great physiques and bodies. So overall, it just gives you a little bit more access to women who are already into the gym, because chances are, if you're anything like myself, you tend to also like women who go to the gym. So that kind of opens another door for you. And just to prove my point, I want to read this study that I found that says Durkee, the University of Texas at Austin, collected responses from 503 women and 942 men. They wanted to estimate women's and men's size preference for each muscle, and they found that overall, men and women think bigger muscles are more attractive than smaller ones. I think it comes from a sense of whenever you're bigger, have more muscle, it shows that you can protect a little bit more, right? Because women are into the guys who can protect and provide. So that just increases the protection aspects. They just feel more safe with the guy who has a bit more muscle. Now, an unselfish reason why building muscle has personally changed my life was the fact that it has now allowed me to change other people's life, right? Creating these videos, creating content for the past 10 years, helping people make transformations in their own bodies, coaching people every single week to reach their dream physiques. Not only that, but to also increase all these other areas that I mentioned in this video. That's actually why I started my one-on-one coaching service, where I can actually work with people hands-on, communicate with them, tell them what they need to improve on, even talk about other things outside of just the gym. And within a few weeks, I just love seeing the shift in mentality that the person has through the knowledge that I've learned, and at the same time, seeing their body transform. And I actually do have a few spots open, guys, so if you are interested in working one-to-one with me to transform your body, your mindset, your confidence, everything that comes with building more muscle and doing it the right way, then tap the link down below to hop on a free consultation. Now, I know in this video we spoke heavily on building more muscle, but you gotta remember, you have to do it the right way. That's why in this video, I tell you the best way to build muscle slowly over the long term, so that you avoid excess fat gain and that you always look the best. Go ahead and watch that next.